So, I am now officially a Harman Certified Trained Listener. And what does this mean? Relative to my performance in the Trained Listener category, college students only have 5% of my listening ability in terms of discriminating loudspeakers in preference tests and reliably rating them. Audio reviewers like Z Reviews, Critical, DMS, all of those guys will be 20% of my listener performance. Marketing sales around 10%, audio retailers around 30%, but still not close to my listener performance. So the reason I only did this test now and not like many years ago, well, I tried it many years ago when I was on my Intel Mac. I downloaded Boot Camp, and I was having some issues with my DAC amp in terms of buzzing noise, but even back then I wasn't like that trained. This was in the ER2SC days, so it was still like slightly difficult to do the tests back then. But in Sean Olive's original blog post for Harman How to Listen and one of these studies, I think from early 2013 or late 2012, it says that you only need to reach level 8 to be considered trained. So that's what I originally did. I downloaded the software earlier yesterday and finished these in like a little under a couple hours, probably, even including breaks. It didn't take me long at all. I saw someone on Audio Science Review who like claims to be a speaker guru, who said like it took him 2 weeks with constant breaks to reach level 8, and it didn't take me that long because I was already pretty trained. And most of these tasks are pretty easy. The front and rear one you can see I'm level 2 because it says I need an 8-channel sound card, so I wasn't able to attempt it. But also, as you can see, the left-right one and all of these other ones are really easy, so I'm pretty sure this front-rear one would also be pretty easy. The only difficult ones for me were the peaks and dips, and the dips. The peaks, identifying peak location was pretty easy. Dip location was a bit more difficult because I had to kind of focus on perceptual masking, and I don't know, dips are more difficult to hear than peaks. And after finishing peaks and the dips separately, I went on to peaks and dips and was able to finish it faster than dips alone, I guess because I did the peaks and dips separately last after finishing all of the other tasks because I knew they would be the hardest, and just finished the peaks and dips combined at the end, and it took 75 trials. But in later Harman studies, it says that the trained listeners had successfully completed level 8 for all tasks in the training software Harman How to Listen. So I tweeted at Sean Olive like asking for clarification on this, but I was like, whatever. I'm like one of the greatest audiophiles of all time, right? So I might as well just get level 9 in all tasks. So that's what I did. It was really easy to get level 9 on all of the programs aside from peaks and dips combined. And it was weird because like I kind of went through it really fast and was one trial away from getting level 9 on peaks and dips, but I choked on deciding between like a 15 kilohertz peak and a 30 hertz dip because I don't know, there was some like difference there, and my concentration fell apart and I just like dropped from there, and I was like tired, and then I just like had to go hang out with friends or something outside for dinner, and I came back later in the day and crushed it, and also came with the new strategy, thinking first to identify if I'm listening to a peak or a dip in the EQ'd version by detecting a volume difference, whether it was positive or negative, then solely going for peaks or dips, and from that I was able to successfully achieve level 9 on all programs. And yeah, I highly recommend getting the Harman certification. It's not like an official certification, but just completing level 9 in all of these programs, aside from front and rear, because I guess that doesn't really matter. But if you want to call yourself a trained listener and say that relative to your performance, like students are 5% of your ability, you need to achieve at least level 8. I think it's probably safer to say that you should achieve, or you should complete level 8 instead of just reaching level 8, because it seems that they've changed their criteria in years after initially stating that you should only be level 8. So yeah, Harman How to Listen, pretty cool. I mean, I was already pretty trained before getting into it, so it wasn't considerably difficult for me. I did have to learn and adapt a little bit for identifying dips location and peaks and dips combined, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Just taking a random college student or something and making them do this, it would take them like a super long time because they would have no idea what they're doing. But yeah, for me it was pretty easy. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'd like to give a shout out to Ninja Command 3, Waytaker, Demas Springus, Castle 4141, Cinevery, Mal Bill, Christopher Yu, the Arflow Reaper, and Trip. Thank you guys a lot for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Be sure to join the Apple House and Discord server if you haven't. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.